There are tens of thousands of California wines today, each unique and special in their own way. But two stand out above the rest as game changers for the wine industry. In this video, we'll look at both. Sutter Home White Zinfandel. Believe it or not, the Sutter Home Winery was first established by a Swiss family in the 1800s. The Leuenbergers took over an existing winery and renamed it Sutter Home in 1880. They operated the winery for over 40 years before being forced to close due to prohibition. The winery lay vacant for almost 30 years until it was purchased by the Trinchero family in 1948. The Trincheros sold grapes and made their own wine under the Sutter Home label. White Zinfandel wasn't introduced until 1972. It turns out Bob Trinchero, who was a winemaker at the time, wanted to make a French-style rosé, and he did this by bleeding off some of the juice from his Zinfandel grapes and fermented it to dryness. The wine at the time may have had a hint of pink to it, but it was essentially a dry wine. White Zinfandel wasn't even the original name. Originally, Bob Trinchero wanted to name the wine Oeil de Perdrix, which in English means Eye of the Partridge. However, the BATF, the governing body for all alcoholic beverages at the time, rejected the name and told the Trincheros they needed to put an English name on the label that people would understand, so they came up with the name of White Zinfandel. They sold this wine for several years with limited success. It wasn't until 1975 that the version of Sutter Home White Zinfandel that everyone knows today was created. Apparently, during that year, the winery experienced a stuck fermentation. I'll spare you the details, but essentially the yeast stopped converting the sugar to alcohol. They ended up with a pinkish colored wine that had some residual sugar. Rather than throw the entire batch down the drain, Bob Trinchero instead decided to bottle it and sell it at the winery. The wine soon became a smash with their customers and would soon become the one wine the winery ran out of every year. Thus, the legend was born. The Sutter Home White Zinfandel makes this list because the wine acted as a bridge wine. On one hand, it appealed to current wine drinkers of the day who were drinking the likes of Gallo-Hardy Burgundy or Almaden Rhine wine in gallon jugs, and it also attracted new drinkers to wine because of its fruity, slightly sweet character. In its first vintage, Sutter Home produced a little over 200 cases of this wine. Today, they make over 10 million cases. Need I say more? Kendall Jackson Vintners Reserve Chardonnay. Trial attorney turned winery owner Jess Jackson launched the Kendall Jackson Winery in 1982. 8 years earlier, Jackson and his wife purchased an 80-acre pear and walnut orchard in Lake County and converted it to a vineyard. Initially, the couple planned to sell grapes to local wineries, but a down market in the early 1980s forced Jackson to rethink his business model. He discovered that the one segment of the market that was severely underserved was quality wines at affordable price points. Thus, the Kendall Jackson Winery was born, and filling that gap of quality wines at affordable prices was their mantra. Their Vintners Reserve Chardonnay quickly became a consumer favorite and won a slew of awards. It was even written that the wine was a favorite of First Lady Nancy Reagan at the time. The wine had the perfect combination of ripe fruit, oak, and butter characteristics, but at a lower price point. The kicker was it also had just a touch of residual sugar. Whether this was done on purpose or not is not known, but it wasn't enough for consumers to think the wine was sweet, but just enough to add richness and complexity to the wine, a recipe for success that others have been trying to duplicate ever since. The Vintners Reserve Chardonnay has been the #1 selling Chardonnay in America since 1992. That's over 31 years. In 1982, the winery produced around 16,000 cases of wine. Today, that number stands at around 3 million. The Kendall Jackson Vintners Reserve Chardonnay makes this list because it too, like the Sutter Home White Zinfandel, is a bridge wine. It helped transition wine drinkers from the off-dry style of wine that dominated the market at the time to a drier style that prevails today. So, there you have it. Two wines that changed the way American consumers drink wine. Thanks for joining me. If you like this video, I encourage you to press the like icon. It really helps my channel out. And if you'd like to see more videos just like this, I encourage you to subscribe. Until next time, peace out.